Good morning students. In this video class we are going to discuss about 11th standard computer science chapter 6 specification and abstraction part 3. So last video class we discussed what is meant by algorithm, what are the algorithmic problems, and then we discussed what are the basic things needed for algorithm, that is what is data and what is meant by variables. In this video class we are going to learn about what is meant by control flow and what is meant by functions. Okay, so now we see what is meant by control flow. We already know the definition about algorithm. Yes, so what is meant by algorithm? An algorithm is a sequence of statements. If you want to execute the algorithm, the statements can be executed one after one, or we can skip something, or we can repeat. Okay, so that order of execution is known as a control flow. Now you can see the statement here. However, after executing a statement, the next statement to be executed need not be the next statement in the algorithm. That means if you are writing the algorithm, in your algorithm totally 10 steps is there. If you want to execute the algorithm, the first statement can be executed, and then second statement, third statement. If you want to execute the next statement after the third statement, next statement is not must be the fourth one. You can execute next statement depending upon your requirements. Okay, so we can execute any statement as the next statement. Okay, totally 10 lines is there. First 3 lines are executed, and then if you want to execute the next one, that next statement is not must be the fourth one. You can execute any other statements. Okay, so the statement to be executed next maybe depends on the statement of the process. So which statement can be executed next, that is depends on the process, what kind of process we are doing. So based on that state of the process, we have to decide which one is the next statement. Okay, thus the order in which the statements are executed may differ from the order in which they are written. Now you can understand the order of the statements you want to execute. It is not in the order of the statements written in the algorithm. Okay, so then which based you can change the order based on the state of the process. We can able to change the order of the execution. Okay, so this order of execution of statements is known as the control flow. That is, we can control the execution of the statement, which one it can be executed next. So based on the state of the process, you have to decide which statement can be executed next. Okay, that is known as a control flow. The control jumps from one part of the program to another part is known as a control flow. One part of the algorithm to another part, that is known as a control flow. Okay, so commonly used control flows are given here. There are 3 important control flow statements to alter the control flow depending on the state. So how we can alter the control flow, that is execution of the statement based on the state of the process. Okay, so how many control flows are used? There are 3 different types of control flows. The first one is sequential control flow, another one is alternative control flow, and third one is iterative control flow. Okay, so now you can see what is meant by sequential control flow. In sequential control flow, a sequence of statements are executed one after another in the same order as they are written. So what is meant by sequence? It can be executed one by one. So when we hear the music with a tape recorder, how we can hear the songs? We can hear the songs one by one in sequence order. Okay, so if you want to get note correction to your teacher, so when you are standing on the queue, how you can get, the first person can get the correction first, and then the second one, and then the third one. That is sequential order only we can move. Okay, so this type of execution is known as a sequential control flow. One after another, one by one, we can get the execution, that is known as a sequential control flow. Okay, and the next one is alternative control flow. In alternative control flow, a condition of the state is tested. So what you have to tested here, a condition must be tested, and if the condition is true, one statement is executed. If the condition is false, an alternative statement is executed. Can you able to understand? In alternative control flow, the control check the condition. If the condition is true, then some set of statements can be executed. When the condition is false, another set of statements can be executed. That is known as a alternative control flow. If for example, when you are writing the SSLC exam, if you are getting above 400 means you can able to get chance to join computer science and biology groups, or if you are getting the marks below 400 means we can able to join only the accounts department. Okay, so based on the mark only you can decide which one you have to get chance to further studies. Okay, so either it may be the bio or computer group, or it may be the commerce group. Okay, so based on which one only you can decide based on the marks. Okay, if I will say one more example, if you can test whether the given number is a positive number or negative number. So my input is 5. Okay, so my input is 5. I have to check 5 is a positive number or negative number. How we can check whether the number is a positive or negative number? You have to check that number is greater than 0. So 5 is greater than 0. So the condition is true. Then you can say that number is a positive number. Maybe if I am giving -5 means the condition is false, then you have to say the number is a negative number. Okay, so based on the condition you have to execute either the true part or the false part. That is known as a alternative control flow. And the next one is iterative control flow. In iterative control flow, a condition of the state is tested, and if the condition is true, a statement is executed. The two steps of testing the condition and execution the statements are repeated until the condition becomes false. So in this, a condition is tested. If the condition is true, a set of statements can be executed again and again until the condition becomes false. Okay, until the condition becomes false. If for example, when you want to find the sum of the natural numbers, okay, sum of the n natural numbers, if you are giving 1 to 10, okay, so you want to find the sum of the natural numbers 1 to 10. So we give the statement sum equal to sum plus I. In that loop, we have to repeat the steps again and again until the value of n gets 10. Okay, so at that time we have to check. So each iteration you have to check the condition, as well as we can repeat the steps. Okay, when the repetition can stop, when the condition is false. This is known as a iterative control flow. So here sequential control flow means all the steps can be executed in one after another. Alternative control flow means it can check the condition. Based on the condition, it can execute either the true block or the false block at least one time. Okay, and then iterative control flow, here also we are checking the condition. Based on the condition, if the condition is true, we can execute the statements repeatedly until the condition is false. Okay, so these are the different control flows used in algorithmics. Okay, so now you can see what is mean by function. So function means a part of the algorithm is known as a functions. Okay, now you can see the steps. Algorithms can become very complex. The variables of an algorithm and the dependencies among the variables may be too many. So when you see the algorithms are very complex, if you are using more than one variable to your algorithm and then more than one dependencies of that algorithms, then more than that dependencies of the variables, this too makes us algorithms as more complex. Then it is difficult to build algorithms correctly. So if your algorithm is very complex means then we are not able to build the algorithms correctly. In such situations, we break an algorithm into parts, construct each part separately, and then integrate the parts to the complete algorithm. Okay, so if your problem is very big problem, if you are constructing the algorithm, that also it's going on several steps. Okay, so if your problem like that, then we can split a algorithm into different part, and then we construct a algorithm for algorithm separate. So construct a algorithm for each part at last to integrate, that is combine all the separate algorithms together to form the solution to the given problem. The part of an algorithm are known as functions. That is, that small part is known as a function. A function is like a sub-algorithm. We can also call it as a sub-algorithm. It takes an input and produce an output, satisfy a desired input-output relations. Okay, the functions also takes an input and produce an output satisfying the desired input and output relationship. So now you can see the example for functions. So now you see this one. Suppose we want to calculate the surface area of a cylinder or radius. Surface area of a cylinder of radius r and height h. Okay, now one problem is given. What is the problem? We are going to calculate the surface area of the cylinder, as well as we want to find the radius r and height h. There are two inputs are given. Okay, that is radius and height are given. So what is the formula you want to find? 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. Okay, so we can identify two functions. One function is used for calculating the area of a circle, and the other function is used for calculate the circumference of the circle. Okay, so now we are going to calculate the surface area of the cylinder. How we can calculate the area of the cylinder? We first find the area of the circle as well as area of the circle and the circumference of the circle. So finding these two things and join to these two functions, and then we get the solution of the area of the cylinder. Okay, so what is the formula we are used to find the area of the cylinder? A equal to 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. So if we abstract the two functions as circle area of r, so how we can find out the area of the circle? You must read the radius. So pi r square, this is the formula is used for finding the area of square. Okay, area of circle. So circle area, we are passing the parameter r, and circle circumference, here also we are passing the parameter r, that is we are passing input to the radius. Okay, so we are passing input to the radius. Then cylinder area of r comma h can be solved as. Okay, so now you can understand this is that is area of a circle is one of the function, and circumference of the circle is another function. For combining these two functions, we get the solution to the given problem, that is area of the cylinder. Now you can see the functions how we can combine to this two things together. So cylinder area of r comma h is equal to 2 into circle area of r plus circle circumference of r into h. Here when the statements can be executed from this function circle area of r, from this function we get the area of the circle, and then we multiply by 2, and then in this function we are getting the circle circumference of r, and then we multiply the value into h, so we get the area of the cylinder. Okay, so this is known as the functions. Okay, so functions is nothing but part of the algorithm is known as a function. Function is also called it as a sub algorithms. Okay, is it clear? Okay students, thank you. In the next class we discuss in the remaining topics in this lesson.